Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Kwakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. One of the first things that we ask when Edomites come to the camp is, what color is the Messiah? And, I watched about, as you can see, about 11 minutes of this video. You see the title and everything. Because Edomites do not abide in the truth, and they cannot worship a dark-skinned Yahweh Shai, a dark-skinned JC, so to speak. So one of the first questions we ask is his ethnicity. What did he look like? Because Edomites do not abide in the truth. You see, this is John 8 and 44. This is going to be a very quick video. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. These devils been lying to themselves for a long time, man. They don't, on a couple of the TikToks that's on this video, the devil, one of the devil women was just like, they don't know where Edomites came from, where so-called white people came from. They came from Esau, the Jacob and Esau story. That's where you Edomites come from. He was Jacob's brother. And the reason why most so-called white people don't know where they started at is because they believe history started with Alexander the Great. That's when they actually came up in power. So that's where they begin their history. Otherwise, they were just scattered cavemen, doing cavemen shit, like drinking out their grandmother's dead skull. So they weren't civilized. They weren't civilized at all. Whereas Jake, because the history of the Bible is you so-called Negro, Indian, Latinos history. And it also goes into the history of the other nations. Now, Esau had some communities, but they weren't civilized. You can even see that today with some of their practices, like not washing their legs and feet. Yeah, that's a thing. They don't clean their entire body, and when they do, they don't do it right. What is it? Poors use washcloths. That was a thing a couple years ago when Esau decided to make fun of Jake for using washcloths. And they admitted that they don't wash themselves properly. That's just part of it. The whole reason the high heels was made is because, they would poop on the streets. And they didn't want to step in their old shit. Crazy, man. That's you Edomites history. So you were, even when you had communities, even modern day communities, you weren't civilized. When you put Jake into slavery, Jake civilized you because of our practices. But you devils weren't civilized. Hey, a lot of Jakes and a lot of the other nations had to beat you into shape. So you can become somewhat human. Because you really have no color. Your blood shows through your translucent skin, so you're pinkish. So you really have no color, man. But Jake and the other nations kind of beat you into shape into something that can be called a part of the race. A part of the what would you call it? A part of the human genome, if you will. This is Daniel 12 and 10, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And that's what the wicked do. The wicked do not get this. Now, you got some Edomites on his video that's basically saying, hey, you Edomites hate that JC is black. No, he's an Israelite, and he's a dark-skinned Israelite. But they say, that JC is black, and they don't like it because it destroys their view of the world. Of course it does. Because everything that they've told themselves is false now. And they can't believe the truth. Because if they do, then they're not as great as their people told them they were, which was a great lie in itself. But yeah, one of the first things we ask Edomites is what's his ethnicity, because then they ain't gonna say that he's a so-called black man, a so-called Negro, like an American Negro. They ain't gonna say that, because then all of a sudden the Jewish people, the Jewish people, they're not the people anymore. That means they have no claim to that land. Then the people that they had in slavery were actually the chosen people of the Heavenly Father. So everything they've been doing is not justified anymore. They have a major sense of cognitive dissonance then. It'll destroy their whole psyche. And then all of a sudden they'll probably have another school shooter born. But yeah, hey, that's just a foundational question to see if Esau is going to even admit to the truth or not. And that's in their churches or what have you. Yeah, we didn't talk to Edomite preachers and all that. They never admit it, because they know that destroys their world view of things. And I'm going to end it there. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. Till the next time, Shalom.